What's up, War Rapport family? We are here. We are back. Y'all know what it is. It's time for facts or nah. These rapid fire questions. Some of them brought to you by you, but you know, all the rest of them, they just our brainchilds or whatever. Anyway, irrelevant. Let's get straight into it. Guys, are y'all ready to do this?
Yes. Let's go.
All right, first question. Facts or nah? Auburn will have at least one offensive lineman make either first or second team All SEC this season. What are we thinking?
Yikes. I'm going to go with nah on this one. I think that we will make great strides at offensive line this season. But based on what I saw on the field last year, this might be a tall order to see somebody go All SEC, even if it's second team. Brahms had his struggles. We had some struggles at left tackle. These guys are just trying to elevate themselves, in my book, from not great to average to good. That's not necessarily going to mean All SEC, so I'm going nah on this one. I think they take steps in the right direction, but not All SEC.
I don't know what Mike G's talking about, but I'm going to say nah as well. I'm going to say nah as well because... Listen, I agree. I think that O-line makes some improvements. If I had to pick somebody, I would say Brandon Council, but he came off a very serious injury that he suffered last season, and I'm not quite sure how he's going to look this year, even if he does get back into the starting lineup. It may take him a few games to get his legs up under him, no pun intended, but I just think that this year, I don't think we see anybody crack the first team or second team on offensive line, so I'm going nah.
I'm going nah as well, but with the caveat Caesar already mentioned, Brandon Council had a very serious injury, but he was the best performing offensive lineman we had last year, and we were performing better and better each week while he was in the lineup. So it's not impossible for our best offensive lineman, to get back, actually be healthy enough to continue his improvement from week to week under a better offensive staff and a better offensive lineman coach. I just don't think it's going to happen. So, nah.
Well, I am going to make sure that I don't give the clean sweep this time. I'm going to say facts. I'm going to surprise everybody and say that if given the opportunity, I think Keandre Jones has the opportunity to at least make second team All SEC this season. He's going to shock some people. Also, we've already talked about Brandon Council. If he comes back healthy from this injury, I think he has an opportunity. So I'm going to say we have at least two shots and we're going to get one of those two. So I'm going to go facts.
Ha ha! Facts or nah, Gus Malzhan is the best OC at Auburn in the last 20 years. Ha!
Facts. I'm not thrilled about that. But you got to give the man his credit. 2010, it's all him. 2013 is all him. I know Rhett Lashley was on the byline as the OC, but we all know that was Gus Malzhan designing and calling the plays. Got to give him 2014 too, technically, even though the defense let him down. He's had the three best offensive seasons in the last 20 years. He was the guy calling the plays and designing them. So facts.
I know you guys are going to think I'm a hater, but I'm going to say nah on this. I got to go with Petrino as the best offensive mind that has been at the Plains. If he had been here longer, I think Petrino would have had a great career as the OC here. Now, if we're talking about productivity on the field, I think hands down the answer would be Gus, but just because he's been in the system longer. But if we're talking about just the time that he had his name at offensive coordinator, I'm going to have to go with Petrino on that one. Or I actually might even put Borges above him. Anyway, no.
I'm actually going to go facts on this one. And listen, I agree that Gus Malzhan may not be the best offensive mind, but you have to think that he changed how offenses are being played in the SEC upon his arrival. In fact, they had to come up with rules to account for his offensive system. Auburn broke a lot of passing records under his tutelage. Auburn broke countless records. We saw a Heisman Trophy winner under Gus Malzhan. His offense at that time, for what it was one of the more productive offenses in Auburn history. And I can't take that away from the guy. I'm have to say facts here.
I'm going to go nah on this one. And I know there's going to be a bunch of arguments and controversy, but Bobby Petrino, like I said, was actually the best offensive coordinator to ever come through Auburn. As a matter of fact, he was so good, we only kept him a year. right? And I think that if you take into account everything he accomplished, particularly with quarterbacks after he left, it validates the time that he spent on the Plains in that 1 year, right? He was able to take talent and put them in the best position to succeed. If we had kept them, man, who knows where this offense would have gone. I'm going now on this one. Bobby Petrino was definitely a better offensive mind. I don't care how long he stayed. He was the best. Facts. Kind of a jerk, but the best.
All right, guys, facts or nah? AU's rush defense finishes the 2021 season ranked in the top 3 in the SEC.
I'm going facts on this one because I think the AU's defense in general is going to finish in the top 3 of the league in a lot of categories. I think that we are going to lead the league in sacks. I think that means that you're not going to be able to run the ball on this defense. These linebackers are going to be plugging gaps and making it hard on offenses to run the ball against us. And once we stop the run, we got lockdown corners on the outside, baby. I'm going facts on this one. I think Auburn's defense is a top 10 defense nationally in 2021. Facts.
I say facts. Big Tony Fair changes my output and what I'm thinking about on that defensive line, man. You get a guy that big, a body that big. That's a run stopper. We were a little thin up there, thin on experience. We have some guys flashing who have been here for a while. But listen, that type of experience shown in improving production on the defensive line, I think we're going to be a run-stopping team. How well we can stop the pass is going to be determined by how active those linebackers are in space. We'll have time to get to that, but stopping the run, we will. Facts.
I'm going to go nah on this one for right now. I'm going to go nah. I'm sorry. Listen, I think that we will be good against the run. I just think that we are going to have offenses try to chip away against us. Just typically in Derek Mason's defenses that he's had, they've been kind of soft against the run. Now, I do think that we're going to be stout enough to put teams in bad positions. But are we going to be the top 3 in the SEC? I don't know. Texas A&M is still going to be a formidable defense. Georgia's still going to be a formidable defense. Are we going to finish right behind one of those two with Alabama still looming out there, Kentucky still looming out there? I don't know. We'll see. Top 5, but top 3, I'm not ready to go there yet. No.
Yeah, I'm going to reluctantly say nah here as well. I think that we do or will have a good run defense this year. And I'm like B, I'm excited about Tony Fair. But you have to consider the other teams in our conference that are still out there. I know that a lot of teams aren't running the ball as much as we've become more of a pass-happy league, but I consider teams that have ranked ahead of us in rush defense previous seasons, like Georgia. A&M had a really good run defense, and they didn't lose a lot on that side of the ball going into this upcoming season. And, of course, there's Bama, who traditionally has had a better defense, particularly along the D-line than we have had on the average season. So I'm going to have to go nah. I think we're right outside the top 3. I like to put us at 4, a strong 4, but not top 3. So it's a nah for me.
All right, fellas, facts or nah? Auburn will have at least 4 players that did not see the field in A-Day that will be starters by game 1.
I want to go facts on this one. I think this staff has made it clear through interest in the portal that they're interested in getting guys who can play and help this team win now. Big Tony Fair coming in, Drayshawn Miller. These guys are not coming to sit, and I think that we're going to see some more of that. So as they mix and match and try to figure out what they have and who the best fit is at each position, I think we're going to find out there are going to be some surprise names that we did not see play during A-Day, counting some guys who are hurt, that will come in and will be in the starting lineup game 1. So I'm going facts on this one.
All right, I struggled with this one, but I think I'm going to go facts on this. I think, the team has been ready to see some new blood get in and compete, and I think we have some guys that are going to be ready to hit the field immediately, especially with the transfers that we've got coming in, and even the guys that were hurt. If Council comes back and he's ready to play, I think he steps right into the rotation. Xavier Capers, I think if he's ready to play, he steps right into the rotation. So I do think we have a possibility of at least seeing 4 guys that did not play in A-Day but will be starters game 1. I'm going to go facts.
I was borderline here, but I'm going facts as well. I think that we did have quite a few guys who are out, and there's been a lot of movement in the transfer portal. I like Tony Fair. I like. I'm looking to see what Brandon Council does when he comes back. He was clearly, as Brian said earlier, our best O lineman last year until he got hurt. So if he comes back and he's any type of the player he was last year, I expect him to be starting. I'm curious to see if Shanker comes back, what happens with him. He was one of our big tight end guys who was involved in the offense. He was playing baseball during spring games, so he was out. I'm also looking at Miller, Drayshawn Miller. Like, does he come in and beat out Simpson for the other cornerback spot? So there are a few names. There's AQ Leota, who I was high on when he signed with Auburn. There's a lot of guys who have the opportunity, and I think that we will see at least 4 guys who were not participating in spring game starting day one.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a clean sweep and say facts. On the defensive side, you've got Miller, Fair, Leota. Listen, I think those are locks to start. We need experience at the places where those guys are going to play. On the offensive side, Capers, Council, and Shanker, like Caesar said. I forgot about Shanker. Those guys are iffy because you never know about injuries, but I'm willing to bet at least one of the two between Council and Capers will be ready for day one. And I'm not sure about Shanker now that we've got some bigger, more athletic bodies at his position. But I at least think between Council and Capers, we'll see one of those guys. That makes 4 so facts.
All right, everybody, you know what time it is. It's time to get into this fan question of the week. We need to make sure you guys are getting these questions in. We are loving the ones that you all are coming up with. This week, we have this one courtesy of Shiny D-Man. He says, facts or not, Auburn will have at least 2 top 25 wins this season. Fellas, let's talk about it.
I want it to happen. Trust me, I do. But I'm going nah here because I have Auburn as kind of a 7-5, 8-4 best case scenario. And I have them losing to Penn State, LSU, Georgia, and Bama. As much as that kind of pains me, I think we probably get A&M, who may be in the top 25 still by that point late in the year. But I'm struggling to find that second win. And listen, a 9-3 year, I would love to see it, but it's a lot to ask in year one with so much change happening on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm going nah here for 2 wins against top 25 schools.
I'm gonna go facts on this one. Now, I have some tempered optimism about our schedule, and I think that we will probably finish best case scenario 8-4. But based on how the game works, baby, some of these teams that we beat may end up ranked at the end of the season, like Ole Miss or possibly even Penn State, who may not be ranked when we play them, but may end up ranked. And I think that when you look at this schedule, there are enough opportunities for Auburn to score some wins against teams that will end up ranked in the top 25 by the end of the season. So I'm going facts on this one.
I say facts. And I'm counting on us winning not the games that everybody thinks are up in the air, not the LSU, the Georgia, the A&M, the Penn State, the Alabama. We could lose all 5 of those games and still have 2 top 25 wins because everybody is going to expect Lane Kiffin to get it going at Ole Miss. And where we play them in the schedule, it is very likely he will have things firing on all cylinders on offense, not defense over there. But having them sneak into a top 20 position or a top 25, 22, 23, something like that, that's still a top 25 win. That is very possible. I am not ruling out the possibility that Arkansas could do the same thing. A lot of favoritism, a lot of favor coming their way from what they did last year under Sam Pittman, the turnaround after Chad Morris. Listen, we don't have to beat the big dogs to get top 25 wins. Yes, it's possible. But I still think we're going to beat the big dogs and go 9-3. Yes, I said it since January. I'm sticking by it. 9-3, at least 2 top 25 wins. Facts.
Yeah, I'm going to go facts on this one as well, very reluctantly, but just because, listen, we play in the best conference and in the best division in that conference in college football. And I just expect that when we face a couple of these teams, they're going to be in the top 25, or even if we go with the Mike G logic and they will be top 25 by the end of the year, I think that there's at least 5 or 6 teams on our schedule that could be that. Can we get 2 of those 5 or 6? Sure, I'll go facts on that. All right, that's it. That's another great edition of Facts and All. We are out of here, but until the next time, we need to hear your opinions right down there in the comment section. We want to know what you feel about all of these different things that we've been debating. Outside of all of that, we need for you to keep giving us these great questions. The fan questions that we did really good this week. We need more of that kind of thinking. So in order to do that, we need y'all to tweet at us. We need to hit that hashtag #FactsAndAll at the War Rapport on Twitter so we can get that good screen capture of your tweet and all that kind of stuff. Gotta send it on Twitter, but we need y'all to do that. Otherwise, we need to make sure that you are following us on all social media. You're clicking like on this video, subscribing to us on YouTube, following us at the War Rapport on Instagram and Twitter. We are TW Report on TikTok. That's it. We're signing off. And until the next time, as always, it's War Eagle.
War Eagle.